Scotch whiskey. So, has everyone drink whiskey sometime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Do you know the complex and all the world around whiskey and how it's defined and the rules for whiskey gets to be whiskey and all the things that involves whiskey? No. All right. So first of all, we're gonna talk about what is whiskey. Well, whiskey is a high grade alcoholic beverage that is obtained by distilling cereals of barley or corn. You can get from rye and other cereals. They are already making whiskey from rice in Japan. But right now we're gonna focus on just Scotch whiskey. So what are the rules for make a Scotch whiskey? First, it must be proceeded from Scotland. Well, Scotland is a country, region that is next to England, well, is in the United Kingdom. So it has to be from there. As a gastronomy student, I know that the origin of the things are really important. So, for example, in wine, champagne only can come from France. If you come from South America, we have pisco. Pisco, it's a wine produced in Peru that it only called pisco if it came from Peru. It also happened from tequila. Tequila came just from Mexico. It cannot came from another country. It's the same here. If you want to be a Scottish whiskey, you have to be from Scotland. The second rule is it has to be just 3 ingredients: yeast, a cereal, and water. But from Scotch whiskey, it has to be for barley, just barley, malted barley, water, and yeast, not other thing. The third rule is to have to be distilled at 94.8 alcoholic volume, not less, not more, just that one. So you have to get a high distillery volume alcohol for make this kind of whiskey. The fourth rule is has to be aged in oak barley in Scotland, not in other place, not in Ireland, not in England, just in Scotland, and not less than 3 years. You can make whiskey using other barrels than like old wine barrels, but for making Scotch whiskey, you can just use oak. Well, we have already talked about the fifth point, and the sixth point is for being in the bottle, it has to contain at least 40 degrees of alcohol, not less. Otherwise, it's not considered whiskey. Okay, and then it's more complex. In Scotch whiskey, we have 5 categories. You have the most premium whiskey that is called single malt Scotch whiskey. We call single malt the whiskey that comes from one type of malting process. Do you know what is malting process?
When you ferment malt.
Not ferment, but you have the seed of barley for every cereal, and you raise it until it's a little tiny plant, not a full plant, just a little bit, and then you toast it. This is called malting. So the single malt is just one kind of malt from one cereal and that is made in just one distillery, placed in Scotland. Then you have another, the second category, that is single malt grained Scotch whiskey, which means you have several grains that come from just from Scotland, from just one distillery. So it's not just from one seed, it's from many seeds, but it's from Scotland. Then you have the blended. Here in the blended, you can blend the seed, the distillery, or even the whiskey product from different Scotch distillery houses. It's not necessary from that be for one. You can have the whiskey from, I don't know, the North region, then you mix it with the whiskey from the West region, and then you have the blended Scotch. It's not really strict as the single malt one. So, how we make whiskey after knowing these rules? First, you get the seeds, all the grains from a farm or from a Scotch farm in this case. Then you mash it and you cook them. So you malt it and cook them. Then it passes to a fermentation chamber, and then you distill it at 94.8 degrees. You put it in the barrels for around 3 years, and if it's a single malt, you just package directly, or then you just you're gonna mix them. It depends what kind of what quality you want. All right, so I'm gonna give you to try a single malt Scotland whiskey. So this is England, London, and you have Scotland. Edinburgh is in here, so we're just gonna focus in this small part. And the whiskey that I bring you is from this area, specifically from Speyside, which is here. It's in the really north part of Scotland. Some characteristics that this whiskey has, well, it is from Scotland, is a single malt, it is from the distillery house Glenallanchi. I don't know how exactly to pronounce it. It has a 46-degree graduation volume. And the colors, and the important part for me as a gastronomy student is this small part here. So, as you can see, I don't know if everybody can see the whiskey. It has a polished brown color. I'm gonna open and let you smell. I don't want you to smell in the little cups because it's gonna evaporate all the odors. I don't know how to say it. So it's better if you smell it right from the bottom. You can keep passing. So it has some notes of caramel, toffee caramel. It has a bit of honey and a little bit of rains. It depends also of the barrel, where the oak was planted and what the environment was happening. So the sommelier notes are like honey, mazapán, and bananas, with a little bit of caramel, toffee, and delicate touch of coffee and like mocha. And right now, I'm gonna make you try it. All right?
It smells like super sweet.
Yeah, it's because
Of
of
the
the
honey.
toffee and the honey. Toffee is a kind of So I hope like after this small description you understand and try better the whiskey and appreciate it because it's not something really easy and something that is for everybody. Alright, Alright. And first, we're gonna smell the whiskey. After you smell it in the bottle, now you smell it in the cup, and all the aromas are open.
It smells so different.
Yeah,
It smells like only alcohol.
yeah.
Give me some. Let's
And then you're gonna try a first sip, a small sip to clean your mouth. Not a big sip, just a small sip, and make all the whiskey go around, like washing and
And the
cleaning.
palate.
Yeah, first like cleaning the tongues, the teeth, the cheeks, and the throat. A small one.
Very interesting.
Alright, and then the second one, you're gonna put it in your mouth, a bigger sipper than the first one, and then you're gonna inhale air, a little bit of air.
Like
Yeah,
slurp
like
it.
Just a
Yeah.
Try not to drown in a
Wow.
cup of whiskey.
I'm sure it's all right. Stay.
And then the last sip, if you have one, you just pass it straight, and it's gonna pass it smooth and calm.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, after the two ones, you can like, if you don't want it, it's not mandatory to do it.
Hay segunda ronda.
Sí, sí, ya.
No porque ya se acaba la botella.
Fíjate que